Hello, horror fan friends, and welcome. My name is Crystal, and today we're going to talk about whether or not I think the new Scream film is going to flop. I think it's actually called Scream now. I don't know how to say it. And of course, there are timestamps in the bottom if you want to skip around a little bit. Don't worry, I won't be offended. So if you've been a horror fan friend of mine for a while, you know how much I love Scream. I mean, hello, look around me. You can literally see it. But recently, guys, I'm getting a little turned off by the things that I keep hearing, especially when it comes to Miss Neve Campbell, the reigning Scream Queen herself, and the driving force of the entire Scream franchise since 1996. So in the beginning of the month, Campbell spoke with People magazine and she said this: "I do not feel that what I was being offered equated to the value that I bring to this franchise and have brought to this franchise for 25 years. And as a woman in this business, I think it's really important for us to be valued and fight to be validated." She also added, "I honestly don't believe that if I were a man and had done 5 installments of a huge blockbuster franchise over 25 years, that the number that I was offered would be the number that would be offered to a man. And in my soul, I just couldn't do that. I couldn't walk on set feeling that. Feeling undervalued and feeling the unfairness or lack of fairness around that." Now listen, we don't know the full details of what was offered and all that, but this really upsets me because Neve Campbell, Sidney Prescott, is Scream. She is the embodiment of the entire franchise. And to hear her say things like that does not sit well with me, because I'm sorry, but not sorry. She deserves whatever amount of money she wanted for this continued role as Sidney Prescott. Now, thankfully, the horror community as a whole is very inclusive and very open to women in horror and also women who are horror fans. And listen, I am not an expert on how movie deals and contracts and budgets work, but no one can replace the character of Sidney Prescott. I mean, I'm sure that is the goal, so the money machine of Hollywood can keep churning out these films that we pay the ticket price for. But guys, I'm gonna be honest, my heart is really not into following the story so much anymore, as much as I was with the last film. And it really sucks to admit that and say it out loud. I also think Wes Craven would have given Neve Campbell what she wanted because she deserved it. But with that being said, I want to support the remaining cast, who are women like Hayden Panettiere, Jenna Ortega, Melissa Barria, Courtney Cox, Jasmine Brown, Samara Weaving, and all of the women behind the scenes, like in the production crew or the post, things like that. It just makes me really upset about Neve Campbell. Speaking of the cast, I do think that it is solid. And I don't want me mentioning Neve Campbell departure to downplay any of that. I mean, Samara Weaving is one of my favorite actresses right now. And I mean, we all love Kirby, so that's gonna be exciting. And I wanna support those women who are in this cast. Okay, so maybe the next kind of funny but small qualm I have with the film is the location, and it's New York City. Now listen, before you run to the comments and tell me that, well, Crystal, Scream 2 and 3 weren't in Woodsboro. I know, okay, I know. And listen, I love New York City. I worked there back in my interning days and I still love it. But I don't know, I'm kind of getting these vibes from it. And listen, I do not hate Jason Takes Manhattan. I think it's a classic film and it's a nice change of pace from always being at Camp Crystal Lake. But at the same time, it does give me that little bit of cheese factor, and not in a bad way, though. The reason that I'm bringing this up is because these newer Scream films kind of take themselves very seriously. Yes, there are some funny moments, but the overall tone of these last films is very serious. The Ghostface killers were clever. They planned their kills. And of course, they have their final act of explaining why they did everything that they did. They trick and manipulate their sidekick. And of course, they ultimately pay the price at the end. Jason Voorhees in Friday the 13th Part 8 was almost made into a little bit of a joke. And once again, I liked that that film, so I'm not harping on it at all. But as a very long time Scream fan, I don't want to see Ghostface like made into a joke. I just don't want to like go to the movie theaters and see this film and like roll my eyes at something that could have been like better executed. And of course, I am happy that we are getting another Scream chapter. I do like seeing the plot twists and how the surprises like build up into each other. And in essence, it is a murder mystery because we don't know who Ghostface is until the final act. Well, maybe you do, but I suck at guessing. But I'm more into seeing like how everything connects and like the Easter eggs than who's like slicing and dicing. So with that being said, I do have faith that the writers and the directors will give us a good film. I was a fan of the last film that we got, and it really showed that the writer and directors really showed us how they can take Kevin Williamson's characters and Wes Craven's energy and give us a decent film. They also took chances, you know, like with Dewey. And they got a pretty good twist at the end, which I didn't mind. So if you're wondering if I'm gonna see this film when it hits theaters in March, yeah, of course I'm gonna see it. But as I said, I don't know how enthusiastic I am gonna be. Maybe once the trailer drops, I'll be more inclined to get excited. But right now, I don't really know how I feel. And it kind of makes me sad. So let me know down in the comments what you think about all of this. Do you feel the same way as I do about Neve Campbell? All right, friends, I think that's gonna be it for me and this video. If you like these kinds of videos, I have an entire playlist dedicated to horror movie reviews in the description box below, or hopefully floating around here somewhere. Thanks so much for watching, especially if you made it this far, and you can follow me on my social medias if you want. And of course, I'll see you guys soon.